G60 EP, welcome back. A recap, I've completely redone the whole gutter right around from driver's side pillar to passenger side pillar. So it's basically like a 75mm strip with a fold right the way around, because that was all completely corroded. So that was destroyed. I've also lengthened it by 150mm-ish to match the rest of the extension that I've done front to back. A couple rust repairs still, and I still need to do 2 runs straight over the roof either side. That's just tacked at the moment. But something I probably should, what we're doing today, is having a bit of fun on the bead roller. And I probably should have done this before I put that centerpiece in, or at least did the final weld. Well, sorry, the final tack run. And it's the filler up in here. This roof didn't come from this windshield. I don't know if there's much variance between them, but whatever it is, it needs a filler in there. So it's what I'm gonna do. Windshield comes up and it's got like an arc to it. It's not just a flat top. And so does the roof. So the roof, we'll do that in a different color just because we've got them here. The roof comes down the corner and then comes up, and it's pretty consistent. That's wrong. It's pretty consistent except for the very ends where it fades out. It sort of feathers out both sides. So you can't just, my plan is to, this is a side-on view. So roof hangs over, and there's a little lip on the front. This is some terrible drawing. And then this is the windshield like that. So there's about a 16mm gap, kind of. That's to be confirmed a little bit with what I do and the arc of the roof. That's what I'm thinking of doing. Seems we've got a red one here. Is creating effectively a Z channel in there like that. Now, if these were just straight, not a problem. You chuck in the pan brake, they fold that in about 3.5 seconds. Because these have arcs, both of them are different. I need to do them in the bead roller with the tipping die. So, which is good practice, good learning curve. So yeah, that's effectively what we need to do. So I've already cut out a piece of panel steel, 1mm mild steel, cold rolled. I think the way I'm gonna do it, because they're kind of hard to measure, I think I might rip the bonnet off so I've actually got some workability in closer. Pull the roof off, sit that to the side for now, and focus on pretty well getting the contour of the roof into an L shape, and then I should be able to pack my roof to where I want it, put the roof back on, pack it to where I want it, and then get a template, whether it's cardboard or another piece of steel or something, and then trace that onto the up stand, the up leg of the L. That's what I'm thinking. That'll probably change halfway through. I think I've done a dumb idea. But in my mind, that's how it should go from now. So we'll rip the bonnet off. That'll be a bit of a juggle, like it was to get it on by myself. Changed my mind a fraction on the way I'm going to do this. I'm going to do the first fold on this and use the shrinker stretcher to stretch over the top of the windshield. And then I'll use the tipping die on the bead roller to do the second one. I don't actually know if this is the right way to go about it, but I guess there's only one way to learn. The only concern I have is the bigger the flange, the harder it is to shrink or stretch. So I've learnt to believe. All right, just gonna put a cleco in here somewhere. Now I know that's always going to be the center. I've got a little bit of extra each side. I only need to get to here. There's a mark, put a mark in each corner where it runs out. My concern is, because I need that Z shape here, I've got a lot of meat here. It's gonna be interesting to see how much I can shrink, stretch. I need to stretch this flange here. So I'll effectively put more material up at this top of it, which will want to put that arc in it. And then as it gets further to the edge, I need to put more and more and more to get a tighter radius. I think I'll get all up to here, no dramas. That could be an issue. Having said that, the upstand will be thinner and thinner here, so I might be able to trim off some of the meat there. Well, that was pretty quick actually. Maybe like 5 minutes on that on the stomper. What the fuck they call that thing? A stretcher. The old stomper. That you will be able to see that there's a fair ripple in that edge. That's not a problem, we'll get that out. The main thing is that we have the shape there, and the shape's pretty damn good up until the end here. Now, the next thing we have is also a curve in and out. So this edge is further forward than the very middle, which isn't a problem. We'll be able to, once again, stretch this back flange, stretch this back flange, the one that's flat, to pull them around. So I think that's what we'll go for now. Before we, if you can't half tell, I'm winging this. Oh, after causing a fair old ruckus, we've got this looking pretty decent. This is just too big a flange to try and, this one's not as bad. That side's got a bit of a, well, this one's got a couple splits too, but the problem with it is, if I bring you a bit closer, because this is such a tight radius, and you've got such a big flange, you need to stretch this, the further your flanges are away from your piece, you need to stretch that so much further than if you were here. You could just stretch that. If I was a 10mm flange to if we think in extremes, like a 100mm flange, you need to stretch that so much more than you do that 10mm flange. So that's why that's split. I'm not too concerned. But other than that, it's really nice. That's just got 2 clecos, one either side held in. What I'm going to do now is quickly whip this off. And we're going to sit the amount of times I've walked from one side of the car to the other for this, the cleco pliers, I should just get another set, because I reckon I'd do an extra 100 steps a day just looking for this damn set of pliers. We'll whip this off. It's got some rigidity about it. That's just what we want. And now we'll chuck the roof on. Because we need to get a we need to get a profile for the next stage of that. If I can just pop that in. Beautiful. Yeah, see, pliers are over there. I'll just get a couple of these Clecos in. So if I can get that relatively consistent from one side to the other, I'm thinking if I get a template from here to here, straight down, now that should be consistent from the middle. That way, if I was to rotate it and sit it there, it should be the same. Or it needs to be the same. It's not, it wouldn't be, but that's the goal. And that would say the same thing. I can see a shadow, you might be able to see it from there. A shadow under there. That looks pretty consistent, like that. So I got a bit carried away and I started tipping without filming, so I'm sorry. But this is what we've sort of come up with. It looks like a mangled piece of shit, to be honest with you, but I think we'll be able to make something of it. This is effectively the profile that we want. I don't know if you can really see that. I can already tell looking at this that I've got more of a radius than I really want, I think. But we should be able to work that out. So I've been tipping this using these tipping dies, or this tipping die. It effectively gives you a crease. You can follow a curved line and you've just run it through and you put some pressure up, following your line as you go. And you keep doing that and you'll get you can tip a flange on a curve. The problem with doing it, well, not a problem, but what you'll get when you're doing it on a curve, you'll need to shrink and stretch because it's on a curve and not like a pan brake, it's just flat. You'll fold it and you'll have a perfect piece of angle. But when you're on a curve, that one flange will need to be altered because it is getting long. It needs to be longer or shorter, depending on if it's an internal or external curve. There's people on the internet that will explain that a hell of a lot better than me. But for instance, right now, there's too much material. Probably not going to see that. Right now, there's too much material in this section here. So I need to bunch that up for that section to come down. Because I actually want to over a right angle this fold here. So we'll see if I can get that. This is my shrinker. So like I said, we'll shrink this section here and see what happens. See, already that was up. Well, exhibit A, this is up the other way, but see how that is risen up like that? This one's already starting to come down because I'm bunching this material up, which allows it to fall down. So I need to do that for this, probably from here to here, just to get that sitting down. That's looking much nicer. That's sort of what we want to see. I could probably trim a bit of this away because that will be waste. This is also a fair bit bigger than I think I need. I can probably trim like 20 or 25 mil off of this. But we're looking good. Well, it got really hot yesterday. Cool changes coming today, which is nice. So this is looking really good. I've had a test fit of, like, it's been a lot of back and forth. After I was tipping that, it basically put a massive, like the middle of this was sitting 100 mil, or probably not quite 100 mil, but 80 mil crest above this. So I took a bit of working out of what was happening, and I actually used the English wheel, like lengthways, with it upside down to try and take that out, and it worked quite well, and it tightened it all up. That also with more shrinking and stretching, like, yeah, I'm pretty damn stoked with that actually. Oh, the back's sitting good. There's like probably a 2 mil gap consistently. So with this, just pulls it down nicely when I go to spot weld it, plug weld it, whatever we're gonna do. But I will mark the front and just get a nice consistent line, because that will be seen if you were to stick your head like that, you will see that line. So I'll tidy that up a bit, make it look good, and then I'll probably prep it ready to spot weld it. I think I'll run 2 runs of spot weld on top of the windshield, and one will be a plug, like a good old-fashioned drill a hole and plug weld it, because I can't get inside this. And then I'll put, using the actual spot welder, I will spot weld it right along there, and then underneath there, from removing original spot welds, I'll have to MIG them in and buff them back and make them look good again. That's going to suck because it's upside down, but these are the things you got to do.